Engage 360 is a tool that can be used to develop media-rich online learning interactions. In this presentation, you're going to learn 3 tips to creating beautiful interactions using Articulate Engage 360. Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Hello, and thank you for joining me today. My name is Michelle Alexander, one of your instructional designers here. And today's just-in-time video is 3 tips to modernize and streamline your interactions using Engage 360. Once Engage 360 opens, choose New Interaction. From there, you will see templates of different interactions that are available to use depending on the type of course or e-learning content that you are creating. For today's presentation, I've chosen the checklist template because I felt it was best for the information and tips that I'm going to share with you today. Before I begin showing you my 3 tips for beautiful interactions, I want you to take a look at the finished product here. This here is known as the player. This is where if you had audio, you can adjust the volume and then you can navigate between the interactions by clicking next. Notice I chose this green border because I thought that it really popped and I thought that it matched my presentation. I wanted to ensure that my interactions, which are these hovers and these check marks pop up, are the color schemes that I want. It's important that, the fonts are cohesive throughout. I've chosen a particular font for my content. I've chosen a particular font for my headers. And then I have a consistent use of my images. Notice throughout my presentation, my images are all relatively the same size. So let's dive into the back end and I will show you how I created these interactions and how I made them cohesive throughout. Okay, so I'm going to close my preview here. And I'm going to start with my first slide. Now, with my first slide, the whole entire interaction is inside a player. So I always begin after I've chosen the type of interactive I want, and I go to player here at the top. Choosing player will open up the screen for you to edit your theme. This is where I was able to adjust and make my player this lime green color by clicking colors and effects. I chose the olive green color because I thought it looked nice and I thought that it really drew the learner's eyes inward at my presentation. Okay, you've got some other features here such as background color, adjustment for the player font. So again, the player font is these buttons here, the previous and next buttons, and I wanted it to be cohesive throughout, so I made sure that it was Open Sans, but I'll talk more about font here in just a minute. Once you have your theme design ready, go ahead and push OK. Okay, the next tip that I want to talk about is using those new and original fonts. If you click on Interaction Properties here at the top, this is where, and choose Colors and Effects, this is where you can choose your interaction fonts. And I mentioned before that I was using Open Sans for my player, so I also wanted to use it for my content and my titles. So here I've got my title font, I have my content font is set as Open Sans, and it was important to me that it was the same throughout my entire course. So if you're using multiple types of interactions, just be mindful of the type of interaction you're using and the type of font that you're using to really make your presentation pop. Okay, the third tip is a consistent use of images. If you notice throughout my presentation, I have these images here, and I have chosen these images and I've made them all the same width and height. As you can see here, I've chosen a custom size and I wanted them to be 222 by 148. And I really think it looks nice when you use a consistent use of your images, high quality images. If you don't have those images, choose from the content library because we know that the Articulate content library has thousands of images available for you to use. And then you can adjust the size of what you want them to look like in your presentation. One more thing about your photos. If you go to your interaction properties and you click on the colors and effects again, you can change this media border style to add none. Sometimes none looks really good. It has a drop shadow now, but taking off the border adds another just kind of clean feel to your presentation. And let's take a look at it again from the top. So if we push preview, and you can see my images no longer have that border. If you go back and watch the video again, you will see that originally it had a drop shadow border. So it sort of just gives it a clean feel. And notice all of my colors and interactions match, all of my fonts match. I hope you enjoyed this quick video showing you 3 tips to creating more engaging interactives. Again, those tips are make use of good, unique colors, use new and original fonts, and have a consistent use of your images. Thank you for joining me today, and I look forward to you at our next Just in Time video. Bye.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go!